Over the years, people have always told me, yo, Louie, you gotta check out Spooky World Nightmare New England. It's one of the best Halloween events ever, one of the best haunt events ever. And I'm always like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually, and I finally did this past October. So, let's get spooky together. This is Haunted Hangover.
Opening its doors in 1991, Spooky World would feature an assortment of haunted houses, sideshow attractions, and even a hayride. It quickly became New England's premier haunt event and terrified thousands for several Halloween seasons going forward. In 2009, they joined forces with Nightmare New England, creating an entirely new horror experience which would scare audiences all along the Northeast for many years to come.
So Spooky World Nightmare New England's built around this recreation/amusement type park called Mel's Funway Park. It features miniature golf and go-karts. And what's really cool is they leave this open while the event's happening. So either before or after, if you want to play a game of miniature golf or ride the go-karts, you can. There's this little area called Monster Midway, and there they have a fire pit, food vendors, carnival games, and most importantly, a bar. Now here in New York, they don't encourage drinking at any haunt event, so I was kind of taken back by that, but also very happy because my group and I were able to get a couple of pumpkin beers before going through any of the attractions. So my first favorite haunted attraction at Spooky World Nightmare New England had to be Manor. I was really impressed by the faux mansion facade outside of the actual haunt, and they blast all kinds of red light on it, fog, smoke. It's really atmospheric before you even go into the actual attraction itself. Once inside, there's tons of furniture and long corridors that are completely dark, like you couldn't see anything. And this actually helps the haunt because a lot of the scare actors were able to hide and we couldn't see them coming from anywhere. There was this one really cool moment where we were walking down this long hallway and we could hear these whispers. They had speakers everywhere, I'm pretty sure. So you could hear it behind you, in front of you, and then out of nowhere something, I don't think it was a person, it might have just been an object, grabbed at our feet, and I just heard everyone behind me scream, and I just couldn't help but laugh. So my next favorite had to be the Colony. This is an exterior haunt. And what's most impressive about this is when you first get to the entrance, there's like all these skeletons kind of just lined up, and I believe they had torches. Once inside, there's actually a little pet cemetery you have to kind of cross before walking through any of the main trails. You eventually pass through several different like little huts and houses that each feature different set pieces. I kind of got the theme of like cannibals or a cannibalistic family that are kind of just living in like the mountains and trying to get you. There's this really cool effect that as soon as you step out into one of the trails, the floor kind of sinks. I'm guessing they stuck maybe like a large balloon underneath, or like an air mattress or something like that underneath the dirt. So as soon as you step on it, you kind of fall in, and that made everyone freak out. I also want to mention their hayride. Now what's unique about this hayride is the actors are actually encouraged to touch you, so you're warned before you even pass through any of the scenes. It features several impressive set pieces. One of my personal favorites is, I believe when the wagon is getting close to like this large kind of like building, a black light is shined onto the building and the words "he is watching" are just lit up across the side of it, and then all these like creatures kind of emerge and just surround the wagon itself. Another really cool moment was we turn a corner and there's just like a plane sitting there, and as we get closer, the plane explodes and this giant flame just shoots out of it and you could feel the heat. It was pretty intimidating. If I had one critique, it would be Dreamscape 3D. This is one of those haunted attractions where they give you 3D glasses and you just walk through halls where everything kind of glows and pops out at you. But with this haunt, it was just kind of empty, and it's located in this large barn, so they could have done so much with it. There were maybe like 2 or 3 actors popping out at you. You know, there were a couple of cool scenes that they did some stuff with dummies. They had a giant spider, I remember, jumping out at us at one point. But one good thing about it, I will say, is it's a good warm-up haunt. So like someone I was with had never been to a haunted attraction, so this was a good way for her to kind of warm herself up to the rest of them. Overall, I really enjoyed Spooky World Nightmare New England. For $40, you're getting a lot. 4 haunted attractions and a hayride. And what's good about Spooky World Nightmare New England is every haunt feels a little different from the last. So you never get bored. You're never gonna get like desensitized from anything. They each have their own atmosphere, their own ambiance, and their own theme. And that's a big plus. I give Spooky World Nightmare New England 4 out of 5 pumpkins. So that's my review of Spooky World Nightmare New England. Be sure to subscribe, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Haunted Hangover, leave us a comment. Have you been to Spooky World Nightmare New England? If so, let us know what you thought. And remember, the best cure to a hangover is more booze. Later, guys.